Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you another amazing episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right, that's where we take the spotlight and put it on our fellow wrestling fans that actually have shown their dedication to professional wrestling as fans. So, with that being said, here are our introductions. In the first corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she's on crazy misadventures, such as looking for the fabled Cobra Kai dojo, taking part in Kumite tournaments, and picking fights with random people while dressed up as one of the Road Warriors, and also messing up people's dinners. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. In the second corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the third corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, the time zone traveler, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a young lady who is all the way across the pond, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. You know, when I say ocean crossing, I'm serious. I live up to it. And this time we're crossing the Atlantic Ocean to talk to a woman who is a fan of Seth Rollins. And hopefully one day I get to go over to England, and the first thing I do, I'm gonna get me some quality street and some Cadbury. But this is not about me. Everybody, welcome to the show, Tasha Rollins.
Woo!
Tasha, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, we're just here relaxing. We apologize for the delay. We know we were supposed to start like 50 minutes ago, but you know, a lot of things happened and had some technical difficulties. Still have some technical difficulties. We have to go to our backup systems, but yeah, you know, it's live TV. It happens. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, thank you for actually, you know, taking time out to be on our show. We believe it or not, we've been trying to have you on here for like the better part of a year, and we're glad we could
Yeah,
finally make it. So really, thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah. So I just gotta say, man. I mean, I didn't. Yo, it's funny how like we had Marek Brave yesterday,
Yeah,
and
listen to it.
I didn't realize how popular that man is. I mean, first we had Ella J, and I was mentioning Marek Brave, and she's like, "Whoa, the Black and the Brave." I'm like, "Yeah, you know your wrestlers." And then lo and behold, we see you all the way over in England, a whole ocean away, retweeting our post, our show with Marek Brave on it. I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm not saying I don't mean this, and I don't mean anything against, you know, him. He's a great wrestler, but I didn't know that, you know, like so many people knew who he is. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. So I just gotta ask you, how, you know, so you're is it safe to say you're a huge fan of Seth Rollins?
Yes, for many reasons.
Wow, that's cool. Hey, this is your spotlight, so go ahead and say them. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
So,
if you
so yeah,
want to
so
share, of course.
I followed his career since Ring of Honor, and then sort of into WWE as the Shield. That he was pretty like well, my favorite at that time was John Cena, but then like, he sort of over the course of the years became my favorite. But it wasn't until 2016 that he really sort of just took over as like my all-time fave for like many reasons. So, well, like the one main reason is so I used to play football in college. Well, soccer for like you Americans, and one day I injured my back and I couldn't play ever again. And it was the same time that he was out injured with his ACL. And I was sort of, I haven't told many people this story, but so basically I was like really depressed because I couldn't do anything. I sort of gave up on life and was hopeless and everything like this. And it came to a point where I was like, I want to say like was kind of suicidal. And yeah, I just felt like giving up. But it wasn't until it was the night of Extreme Rules in 2016. And I just had the feeling that I should just watch the show. And, you know, or not, it was his return. And that night was the first night that I truly smiled in like 6 months. And from then on, he basically saved my life that night. So that's how he's just literally become my fave. And I will fight so hard for him on social media and everything because, yeah, I love that guy so much.
Wow, that's a really amazing story. Well, I'm glad, you actually, were able to find that light at the end of a dark tunnel
Yeah.
and that you're still here with us. And, just know that, there have been many people that have felt like you, and right now there's probably somebody that's watching that's feeling the same way, um, or have felt the same way and can actually relate. So I'm glad that, wrestling
Mm.
was able to, well, and especially Seth Rollins was able to actually, bring you back to enjoying life and all that. And I'm sorry to hear about your back injury. I'm sorry to hear about the
It's fine. I've got other passions in life
about
now, so
too.
yeah, good.
And just just keep fighting, man. I mean, just it's always great to hear people overcoming what's going on and so on. So yeah, um, and that's why we do this too as well too. Hopefully, to bring up people's spirits, you know, not to like say, yeah, we interviewed this person and did it. Nah, it's like mostly to because you never know what stories a fan may have.
Yeah,
You never know what somebody may heck. Just being on this show might even brighten somebody's day. You know, a lot of times this is my getaway from everything else. I can't speak for Robert, Kathy, but pretty much, this is my getaway. As I said, I think it was on our last show. This is my club Saturday night, my second church on Sunday morning. This right here. So, you know, I'm very glad that you were able to overcome that and just keep on being strong. But yeah, so have you ever gotten to meet Seth or John Cena
yeah.
in person?
I've actually met Seth twice. So I met him in 2014, I believe, and he was Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, and he was doing there was a live event up like an hour away from me, and he was the meet and greet superstar. So I was like, I'm not gonna miss the opportunity. So that was the first time I got to meet him, and then in 2019 they did GP Live, like Gorilla Position Live at the O2, and it was him and Becky doing it. So I actually met both of them that day. But yeah, I met him twice, and I haven't yet to tell him the story because I've been too like anxious to sort of tell him. And plus, I meet and greet, you don't really get that much time to talk to them. So yeah, I hope one day like, if I meet him again, then I can tell him the story. But yeah, he's so awesome when you meet him in person. He's like one of the most loveliest, down to earth dudes, and so is Becky. But yeah, he's just awesome.
Yeah, I tell that outside of like the whole drip god thing, which honestly speaking, I'm gonna say this right now. If I had to choose somebody to pick out my suits, because I'm a believer or not, and I'm probably gonna lose my street cred or whatever street cred I have left. I like the flamboyant suits. I like the flamboyant, and Kathy's gonna have a hoot there, and I'm probably not gonna hear the end of this from her, but I like the flamboyant suits. I like the flamboyant colors. I would definitely let Seth pick out my suits for me. Like real, I'd be like, hey, bro, just pick them out, man. You know what I'm saying?
And he
Because
doesn't
man, I like the man's sense of dress.
he doesn't actually he has a stylist that does it for him, but yeah, you can
You
hit him
sure?
up at King Troy. Yeah. So little plug to King
But
Troy.
yeah, man.
He's on the you follow him on Instagram. He's the guy that designs all his suits for him, and he always posts about him after Raw or SmackDown. Like he'll put him up on social media. So check him out at King Troy, and you'll see if you want some suits, hit the guy up.
Yeah, do me a favor, send us that guy's info, and because yeah, you might. We also tend to interview people that make gear and so on. So yeah, um, definitely send us that
Yeah, I think he's
info.
just
But
at
yeah,
King Troy.
yeah. But that's good. You got to meet Seth and you got to meet John Cena and all. It's always a great thing when people get to meet their favorites. I've met,
Yeah.
I guess, 2 out of 4 of mine, my first favorite wrestlers, Marty Jannetty, and I got to briefly meet Tito Santana. Never met Shawn Michaels, but I've met, yeah, and I'll never get to meet Ultimate Warrior because unfortunately he passed away several years ago. But it's always a great thing to meet, your favorite wrestlers and so on. And I've met some of my other favorite tag teams and so on. So it's a pretty good thing. Yeah. So have you ever gotten to go to a WWE event over there in London or
Yeah,
anywhere else in Europe?
I usually go to Raw every year when they're at the O2, but obviously because of COVID, they kind of stopped touring over here for a while. But they restarted us last year. They sort of came back twice in the space of like 2 months, so I managed to go see them again live twice. So it's good. Hopefully next year I can start going, or this year even. I forget we're in 2022 now, but yeah, hopefully this year if they come back again, I can start regularly going back to them.
Yeah, definitely. I don't get it though. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be controversial, but you can go all the way to Saudi Arabia, which is like what an 18-hour flight. I guess maybe at least it might be a 12-hour flight. I don't know. I've never been to Saudi Arabia,
I think it's like
but
17, 18.
they can go there. Yeah, they can go there, but they can't go to England, which in England from New York, if I'm not mistaken, is a 5-hour flight.
I've
From the
been to
West Coast.
America. It was 10 hours to get there
Go
and
ahead.
6 on the way back. So, but yeah, I don't
It
know.
took you
It's
six
just
hours to get
COVID.
here. Oh, you said it took you 10 hours or 6 hours to get here.
Yeah, from Heathrow to Colorado, because I had to stop over at Houston. It took me 10 hours.
Oh, you went over to that side. Okay, I was about to say because
Yeah.
if you were going to some place like New York where I'm at, or if you were going to go to, let's say where Rob's at, which is Delaware, because we're on the same time zone, it'd probably be like 5 hours. Maybe I don't know. That's what I heard. I think Kathy would probably be 6 because Kathy's only one time zone behind us. It's 1 hour behind us. So yeah.
I
So
basically live
so
in
you say
American
you
time.
came to America.
Pardon?
Okay. So you say you were in America. Did you get to go to any wrestling shows while you were here? Like not
No.
WWE, but like independent shows and so on?
No, so I went to see my best friend. She lives in Colorado, so I spent 2 weeks out there in 2015. And I'm hopefully going back again this year. Um, but I am planning to go to WrestleMania next year, so that would be my first show like abroad.
Awesome. That's cool. Well, guess what? Kathy, are you Texas is near well, obviously Texas is near Louisiana. Are you going to be going to the WrestleMania? I'm not trying to, start anything. Are you going to be going to WrestleMania?
So probably not, but I'm probably gonna go to WrestleCon or Access.
You
WrestleMania
just
doesn't
might see
interest me
Kathy
right now.
there. You just might see Kathy there.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So outside of WWE in London, I know England, y'all have a rich professional
Mhm.
wrestling scene. I've seen a lot of impressive people come out of there. Will Ospreay, um, Will Davenport, so many people. The Blossom Twins, who a lot of people tend to forget about, and Marty Skrull and several people, Pack and all them too. Wait, Pack is English or Irish? I think Pack is Irish. I could be wrong.
Pack, you
But
mean used to be Neville, right? He's from
yeah.
England. He's Geordie, so he's from Newcastle.
Okay. Yeah. So have you ever gone to any of the local like promotions over there in England, like Progress or ICW or any of them?
Yeah, I've been to a
Pro
few.
Wrestling Eve.
I've been to a few, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, hopefully I can get to go to one of those events over there real soon. And London is definitely on my list of places I want to go to. I just got my passport, so
Good, you should, because
I'll
the
be making a
UK
real.
fans are like the best fans. You'll love the
Yeah,
UK fans when it comes to wrestling.
I'll definitely have to check it out one of these days. I intend to go there real soon because I've been wanting to go to London for a bit now. So, and I have family over there, so yeah, I definitely want to take a trip over there. I know one thing is I know one thing for sure. When I go over there, the first thing I'm gonna do, like I said earlier, I'm gonna get me a nice big bottle of Quality Street and a nice big Cadbury fruit and nut bar.
Yeah,
And I tell you, for those of y'all that don't know, you don't know life until you've had Cadbury chocolate. It is
yeah.
amazing. It's what I grew up on too. So yeah,
Yeah, it's actually American though, Cadbury's. And it's owned by American
Cadbury's
company.
American.
Yeah.
What?
It's just in England, and I think it's in other places, but yeah, it's owned by
Wow.
American.
I honestly thought so. I guess I wouldn't be blasphemous if I said that. I'd rather Cadbury than Hershey then, because I all these years I was thinking I was saying it, behind closed doors. I like Cadbury more than Hershey, but I don't want to say it out in public because I know some Americans are going to get upset. Like, what do you mean Cadbury's better than Hershey? So no, I guess I shouldn't feel too bad then. Wow, okay, I
I
guess I
have
could say
tried
it now.
Hershey
And,
chocolate.
and
I
so
tried Hershey
Kathy and
chocolate,
Rob,
but
Kathy and Rob,
Cadbury's is 100% better than any other chocolate.
so Kathy and Rob, y'all jump me for that. You heard Cadbury's an American-owned company, so please leave me alone. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Kathy. I know Kathy has like probably a gajillion questions. Y'all have been talking online for how many years? So,
Yeah,
Kathy,
she's a
go
good
ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, thanks for me. What's up, Tasha?
It's like caffeine.
How's it going across the pond?
It's good. It's 11 right now at night.
Wow. Yeah, it's like 5 o'clock here. It's still afternoon.
Late night's my daytime, so I basically just stay up all night anyway.
Yeah, you're like a night owl, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not a morning person at all. So, Alex is
No,
in
I
the
hate
chat.
mornings. I only do mornings if I have to get up, but otherwise it's always afternoon for me.
Yeah, Alex is in the chat. She said, "Love my shirt." Thank you, Alex. It's Becky. Of course, you'd love it.
I,
So speaking of Alex, the internet's really cool where you can meet people, like you across the pond, and Alex is in France too. But you guys are really good friends too. And you were talking about you went to events and stuff,
yeah.
with WWE. You and Alex went together, and you guys were actually like in the front row, and Seth and
hmm
Becky actually talked to you guys like while during their matches. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to get to the front because everyone always like rushes to get to the barricades, but yeah, we managed to get a little space on the barricade, and they both sort of saw us with the sign, so it was cool. Yeah, so
Was that
there's nothing like seeing them live.
right? Was that the first time y'all were on the ramp, like in the front
It's,
row?
with Alex it was, yeah, but it's probably like my fifth, sixth time I've been on the ramp.
Yeah, front row's pretty cool. I got to watch Becky beat up Charlotte right in front of me. That was that time she had
Yeah.
the black wig on, and she took it off and she went beat up Charlotte. That was
Oh
right in
yeah.
front of me.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, so she
Yeah,
had
that was
she
one of
had
the best
one
ones.
one eye on Charlotte and her off camera eye was on me. Like she looked at me and she was looking at Charlotte. I was like, that's pretty cool. I showed it to her too. Like
Um,
she signed it. I had a picture of it. I took
yeah,
a picture of it and she signed it for me. That was the first time I met her, so that was pretty cool too.
that's awesome. Yeah, I remember that segment. Yeah, I was like, who the hell's that in the crowd? And then like she takes the wig off, everyone just loses their minds.
Yeah, because Charlotte was walking back from her match and she turned around and she went back toward the ring and I'm like, what is she doing? And then I was like, oh well,
Yeah,
she's taking pictures with fans. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, cool. And then I'm like, ooh, like so a fan hit her. And then I looked some more. I was like, wait, it's Becky. It wasn't a fan. That was not a fan. That was Becky.
yeah. It was so good.
Yeah. So speaking of Becky, you actually had when WWE Backstage was a show.
Are you
She
talking about
read
my little tweet?
she read one of your tweets and she was
Yeah,
like, change your name. It's got Rollins in it.
yeah. It's my pin tweet. It's got a lot of attention. So everyone always just jokes about it every time like they see it or it gets brought up. Like everyone just makes the joke. But yeah, I'm still not changing my name. I can't. It's
Yeah,
got to stay as it is.
Becky's cool like that though. She actually
Yeah,
roasted me when I was telling her about that the first time I met her, like the whole Becky and Charlotte thing where she was beating up Charlotte right in front of me.
yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, you had like I was like that was before you were the man." She's like, "Well, I was always the man." Like everything I was saying, she was trying to like negate and stuff. I was like, "Man,
yeah.
Becky's roasting me the first time I meet her."
She's really good at just interacting with everyone. Like it's probably one of like her best traits. She's just so good at just talking to and joking and just making everyone have like a good time.
Yeah, she's really cool with that too. Like everybody was laughing like the whole time we were there, like at the meet and greets and
Mhm.
stuff. And I made her laugh a couple of times that I've met her, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you get to say you made Becky laugh, so that's pretty awesome.
Everyone says at that moment that I got Becky to wink properly for the first time.
So
Yeah.
yeah, still speaking of, Seth and Becky, when Remy asked you if you had met anybody, you talking about gorilla position where you met her, but you're like a really sick artist, like sick as in good, like you are crazy good.
I
And
have
you gave them some art too. So did you ever take
the
classes or is
Becky
just
one here that
yeah,
I just did recently.
yep, there's the recent one.
It's,
You are like really good at it. So like did you take classes or is it all just natural?
so I got the talent of my mom. My mom was like a painter and decorator, kind of like she had the artistic side in her, so I kind of got it off her. But being an artist, I'm self-taught. Like I didn't go to school or anything for it. I knew I was like had a talent with it, and it started off as a hobby. And then over the years, I sort of realized, okay, I'm pretty good at this. So then I sort of took it more seriously. And then after I couldn't do football anymore, I sort of went into the art. So the art kind of came like my passion and motivation. So now I do it as a living pretty much.
That's awesome because you're really good at it. Like there's that Becky one you did one of Brody after Brody Lee passed away. You made one of
I have
him.
that from him. I have that from him as well.
She's like, I got it right here.
Where is it? Yeah, here you go. Little,
Yep, there it is. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
And you actually take commissions too. So if people want any of that art, go hit up Tasha.
Go hit me up on social media, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we all know you're a big Seth fan. You're a big Becky fan too. And who else are your favorites?
Um, my like all time like ultimate fave is the Undertaker because he's just the goat. And back in because I grew up the Attitude Era, so DX was always like my favorites as well. I always loved DX. They had bad influence on me growing up, but you can't not love DX. You know, they're just so funny and they would just make you laugh and yeah, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, yeah.
So be honest, were you one of those kids that got in trouble for doing the DX crotch chop?
Yep.
Telling everybody suck it. Telling
You can
everybody to suck
feel
it.
like you weren't a fan if you weren't doing the chops, So
Right. Yeah, I met the Undertaker actually. It's been a week. I met him last week.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's a really nice guy. A lot of people, I guess, were afraid of him. I don't know. They didn't really say too much to him, but I actually made him look up at me. He was signing my figure, and I was like, "I've seen you since WCW, your Mean Mark days, you know." And he looks up at me, and he's like, "You can't be that old." I was like, "I turned 40 last year. Yeah, I saw your whole. I think I was like 9 when he was in WCW, so like saw his whole career."
Yeah.
Actually live.
Live.
Like that's crazy. But yeah, I was the only one that made him like look up. He stopped signing and he looked up at me. Because a lot of people were like, some people said, "Hey, Michelle did a really good job," because it was the night after Royal Rumble. They're like, she did a really good job, stuff like that. And another guy was like, big fan of you. They didn't really say much, so I don't know if they were like intimidated or they didn't think he was gonna talk. But like Undertaker was cool. Some people had his wine for him to sign, and he's
Mhm.
like, "Don't drink this. This will make you sober." Like he was slamming his own wine. I was like, "That's crazy."
He does seem really intimidating to me because obviously, like, this whole aura, like, if you've grown up like watching him, so yeah, I would love to meet Taker.
Yeah, but he was in his regular clothes, like, he was cool, like, even for I guess, because I did the photo op first with him. So he's
Yeah.
like trying to, he shakes everybody's hand. He's like, "Hey, how are you?" Stuff like that. So it kind of breaks the ice there a little bit. But I guess,
Mhm.
yeah, if you just did like an autograph and not the photo, you walk up to him, you don't know what to say. Maybe some people get nervous and stuff like that. But I was just like, this is the only time I'm probably gonna ever meet him, so I'm gonna say what I want to say. And it
Yeah,
worked out. It was pretty cool. So like I made him kind of laugh and chuckle. So that was awesome.
that's good. Yeah.
So you have a bunch of tattoos.
Mhm. Quite a
So
lot.
maybe the ones that you want to talk about, you can talk about them. Like you just have a lot of art, and I like tattoos. So if you want to talk about your tattoos, go ahead.
Okay, so some of them have meanings, some of them are just random. Um, so this one on my wrist, you can't see it very well, but it's my football team on my wrist. Um, and then one on my left arm, I can't really show you, so it's kind of like, my left arm is like my religion, basically. And then I have a quote which is "Keep your hopes up high and your head down low." It's sort of like a life quote after what I talked about earlier. And then I have an angel and the doves and the heaven gates, and I'm gonna get the stairway to heaven and finish it off with like a rosary. And then on my right arm, I've got another life quote, which is I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Cinderella Story with
uh,
Hilary Duff.
yeah, I think so.
So the in that movie, the quote on the wall when the guitar rips down is what's on my arm, which is "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game." So it's another life quote that when I'm feeling down, I sort of look at my arms and I'm like, okay, these quotes are to remind me to keep going, keep fighting, and to keep pushing forward. So then I have a tattoo on my forearm, which is with my best friend in America. We have matching tattoos, and then I have this chest one, which is love, peace, and hope, and it's the Japanese meaning underneath. And I have one on my rib, which is from another friend, which is another matching tattoo. So, but I'm planning to get covered.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can always look, when you're down or something, just look at your arm and be like, yeah, it's tattoos are permanent. So you'd be like, yeah, it's something permanent that I could always think about.
I always say to people, because I always get like people always ask me for advice on tattoos, and I'm always like, just make sure it's something that you want, because that's like the number one rule. Like, don't get something that you haven't really thought about, because you're gonna end up regretting it. Especially if you get like someone's name, because that's like the ultimate curse that never ends up like lasting or ends up well. So yeah, but yeah, I always just see it as art on your body and expressing like yourself, and it's just I just love tattoos and it's awesome. And I hate when people look down upon tattoos or think it's like against like, society and stuff like that. And it annoys me because like tattoos are just such a cool thing to have, and a lot of people have tattoos, and a lot of people have them like for meanings and everything. So I wouldn't say they're a bad thing. And I always see people say like it's just bad for society and everything, and it's really not.
Yeah, people have a bad rap for tattoos, but I think it's coming around. Like
Yeah.
I always think it's interesting, like what it means to people. You know, different things mean different stuff to different people. So
You
it's
can
pretty
get so
cool.
many different things as well, like so many different styles, like write-ins, pictures, like whatever you like it could be. Like there's so many ways of expressing tattoos.
Yeah, a lot of them are real colorful too. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like on some people, like all the color they have on them, and it means something to them too. So I was like, good for you. Go ahead. Did
Yeah.
it hurt at all? Like I don't have any tattoos, but did any of them hurt?
So my this arm took 8.5 hours to get done, and I have really high pain threshold, so I didn't really feel anything. But I have a funny story of when I was getting this chest piece done. A boyfriend at the time was getting his leg done, a tattoo to his leg sleeve, and we were getting the tattoos done at the exact same time. And there's me sort of lying on the table, not feeling a thing, just sort of sitting there, like just you know. And then there's him in the corner, like wincing in pain, like saying, "I'm gonna pass out. I need to eat something." I couldn't help but laugh because I'm just like, come on, like grow up. You can fight through the pain and get it done. Because this is like one of the most painful places to get a tattoo on, like your chest. But he's getting it on the leg. But like when it's like under the bone and like there's not much skin, it's when it's more painful. But yeah, for me, I don't feel pain at all.
What do you do for like 8 hours? Do you talk to the tattoo artist or like what do
Yeah,
you
you
do?
sort of you can talk, you can feel, you can listen to music. But the number one rule is to always make sure you eat and drink before you get a tattoo. If you've got like a long hours sort of day getting it done. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
probably
cool.
like your stomach starts growling because you didn't eat anything. You'd be like, that's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
yeah. So you end up feeling lightheaded, and you're like, you have to stop and to go get some food. But yeah, so always make sure you eat and drink before you get a tattoo.
Yeah, I think when people would get drunk, they get tattoos. I think it's kind of frowned upon now. Like they won't tattoo
Yeah.
you if you're drunk. It's like, yeah, you
There
wake up with something the next day like, what did I get? What is this?
there's this program that's on here. I don't know if you get it in America or not, but over here it's called Tattoo Fixers, and it's always stories about people who get like drunken tattoos or just tattoos like from other friends as like a joke or something. Yeah, they end up regretting and they have to get it covered up. So then like you get these tattoo artists to design new tattoos for them and they get it covered up. Yeah, but it's funny. Some stories people have with tattoos. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, I'm sure some of them are embarrassing. They're like, yeah, I got this when I was drunk. I don't even know why I got it. They probably remember, like, while they were drunk, they knew what they were doing. But when they wake up, they're like, wow, what's that?
yeah, all my tattoos I've definitely thought about them. So well,
That's
no
good.
regrets. No regrets on them.
Yeah, people seem to forget. Well, if you could get a cover up for it, but they forget, like, that's permanent. You're tattooing something on you.
You can get laser treatment, but it takes like
Yeah,
loads of seconds to get it like completely removed.
yeah, it takes a few sessions for that. Talking about like the funny stuff that you put. There's an episode of Saved by the Bell, the college years, and
Mm.
the guy that like ran the dorm or whatever. Screech comes out and he's like his name was Mike, and he's like, Mike's got Big Bird on his butt. And he's like, it wasn't Big Bird, it was supposed to be Tweety Bird, but he got like fat and stuff. So it's like, be
Yeah.
careful what kind of tattoos you get.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So, you are you a Paige fan? Because you wanted to talk about Paige a little bit. Becky and
Yes.
Paige.
Yeah, I've always loved Paige. I used to get called her twin, like back in the day, and I had black hair. Like this is going back like 6 years maybe. But like through college, I had dark black hair, and I used to always get called her twin. And then I went to a wrestle like con event in London, and everyone stopped me because they thought I was Paige, and it was so funny. So I just ended up taking a bunch of pictures of everyone that day because they thought I was Paige. But yeah, it's cool.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, you have the lip ring. She used to have one, so I could kind of see it.
It's because I'm obviously from England as well, so
Yeah,
everyone
that
just
too.
called me the tattooed version of Paige.
Did you ever go to any WAW shows? Their
No,
family's organization, their promotion? No.
No, sadly not, because obviously where she's from, like Norwich, so it's like way up the country for me, so it's like hard to get up to sometimes.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how far that was from you. So yeah,
Yeah, so
probably
I live down south, so to go up
okay.
north it takes like 5, 6, maybe 7 hours. So I
Wow.
can only do it if I have like weeks off or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, so that's like from where I am to Dallas. Like if I go to WrestleMania that week, it'll take me 7 hours to get there.
that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's about the closest it's gonna get for a little while. I don't know if they'll probably come back to New Orleans at some point.
Mm.
New Orleans is like 2 hours away, so that's not too bad. But yeah, 7 hours. Probably gonna
Mm.
go to WrestleCon. Might go to Access depending on who's there. But
Yeah,
I
next
like
next year we plan to go to the LA one and do like the Access, the Hall of Fame, Raw, SmackDown, like all of that.
yeah, it's gonna be in LA next year. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool if you do get to go.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
I need to tick it off the bucket list to go
Yeah.
to a wrestling. I have to tick it off.
Yeah. So I went to one when it was in Dallas for 32. I didn't go to the show, but I went to Access. That's where I met Paige. I went for
Mhm.
1 day, like just went there and went came back home. Met
If you
Paige,
met
and
Paige, that's
that
good.
yeah, yep. Met a friend that lives in Chicago. I was like, well, I'm never gonna go to Chicago, so I met her in Dallas for lunch that day, and then that night I met Paige, and then I tried to meet Becky, but I didn't really know how like Access worked at the time. Like everything
Mhm.
was shutting down, so I was like, man, I can't meet anybody. So I just started taking pictures of people. Took a picture of Becky. Wade Barrett was still there. Took a picture of him. Like Naomi was there. So like they closed the line and you can't get in line anymore. So they just meet the people that were in line before.
Yeah.
So I was like, ah, well, I'll just
Did
start
you
taking
ever
pictures.
did you ever do the thing you see a lot of fans do and they stop at the airports and the hotels to try and get pictures?
I've never done that, and that's like creepy to me. I've had friends
Yeah.
that went. I was like, I'm not gonna go to a hotel just to. If I have to sleep at the hotel, that's one thing, and happen to see them. But what I would do was, I'm one of the types that I'll go to the show like really early to try to catch them
Mhm.
before the show.
Yeah,
And
when
I've
they were.
met a few people like that. So that's the like more normal thing to do than to go to the airport. Like, don't do that
Yeah,
unless you're taking a flight like with them. Like, don't go
and you
stalking them at the
accidentally
airport.
bump into them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought that was creepy, but yeah, I do go before the shows. They have a security guard there. Some people come like Natty actually came, like there's a barricade. Natty was actually one of the ones that came around the barricade to meet us. Like usually you meet the person across from the barricade for like safety reasons and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but she came out and she totally shocked us. Like I was having a conversation with somebody else and she's like, "Hey guys," and we're all like, "Hey Natty."
Yeah, that is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, she is awesome. She had an ankle injury at the time, so she had time to come meet. Like usually wrestlers, if they have something to do, like a match or something, they won't come out. But she was like, "Well, I'm just here. I got an ankle injury, so I'm gonna come meet everybody." So I was like, that's pretty awesome.
Pretty sure. I think. Hopefully, she still follows me on social media on Twitter. She followed me. I don't know if she still does, but hopefully she still does. But yeah, she's so lovely. I think I didn't like I wouldn't say I met her, but one of the shows they sort of briefly sort of see them walk past and like say hi and stuff like that. So yeah, she's super lovely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think I've had a bad meet and greet. They've all been nice. But also like it was at an official meet and greet. It wasn't like trying to stalk anybody. So
Yeah.
they haven't been mean to me as far as I know. Like they've been all pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had two good experiences too, so I can say that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like another, you've met Alex through social media. You also met Ali, which
Hmm.
another person we've had on the show. That was at the gorilla position where you went. She actually won a thumb war against
Yeah,
Becky.
and I filmed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so how cool was that? Like watching it happen.
Oh, it was awesome. I remember she said there's a funny bit with Seth when she goes up on the stage. He's like, "You haven't got a knife in there to shank me or something, have you?" Like taking the piss out of like UK's, whatever for how we are. But yeah, it was quite funny. But yeah, then she was trying to challenge Becky for the title, but obviously Becky wouldn't like, do that. But it's quite a funny sort of thing to see. And then she beat her, and then the show I went to Ali with before the one I went to Alex with. Becky saw us in the crowd, and then Ali had the sign saying there's something about like when she beat Bianca in 26 seconds, but then she was like she couldn't beat me in the fun war, and then Becky kind of remembered it when she saw the sign, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I remember that now that you said that. Like, yeah, that's pretty funny. And then Ali was like, I want a rematch. She's like, I'll beat you again.
Yeah, it sucks over here because we can only like meet them when they actually come over to like the tours and stuff. Because obviously, like you go to America and it's like it's hard for us over here, so we have to wait till they tour over to go meet them.
Yeah, don't they come like once or twice a year over there? They need to go more. Like, why not?
Well, it's
Like, just
usually
go.
twice a year, so it's
Yeah.
May and then November. But because of COVID, they stopped, and then last year they came in just November. But I think this year they're gonna do May and then November again.
Yeah, places like where I'm at in Louisiana, they don't come that often. Like they're coming. SmackDown's gonna be in New Orleans this Friday, but I'm probably not gonna go. But I'll probably go like catch them another time.
Yeah.
I'm more like well, there's like Drew's on SmackDown now, and
But,
Sasha and Naomi and stuff like that. But I was like, I guess I'll catch them later. Like Raw, if Raw would be coming, I'd probably go to Raw because Becky's there and Finn and everybody else.
yeah.
But it's weird how it flip flops. Like Raw will suck for a long time, and then like SmackDown starts sucking, and Raw's
Yeah.
okay. So it's like
Yeah, so it's always switching back and forth with the better show.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
So,
I thought SmackDown was quite good for a while, and then I think because of Roman's reign, it's kind of repetitive. So I think a lot of people have sort of given up on it a little bit, and everyone's kind of getting a bit tired. So, and obviously Raw's a lot different now, so I can see why a lot of people like Raw more.
yeah, it's when they do the draft picks. Like sometimes it's lopsided. Like one show will be better than the other show, and then like the other show starts sucking. So it's like I don't know. They need to do something better. I guess they need to
Mm.
do creative needs to do better. I think.
Creatives suck half the
Yeah.
time. Like
Yep.
they don't know how to book baby faces. That's their biggest problem. So they always just make them the same cliche sort of thing, and it just very rarely they had like a really good baby face. Like Becky's obviously won in 2019, and then you had Bianca and Big E, but there's not a lot that you can say that has truly like capsulated, like the stardom factor of being a baby face.
Yeah, or like for the women's feuds, you can only say like somebody's a bitch so many times, Like
Yeah,
come up with something else. Like the women need more storylines than just like, oh, I hate you, or something like that. Like come up with something else.
another thing I hate, which I wanted to bring up on here, is the mom shaming. I don't know if you've like seen it of the like with Charlotte and stuff, and especially with Becky, like she gets mom shamed like so much, and it's really like annoying to see. It's not even just the mom shaming, but like Becky just seems to get like, can I swear?
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets like shat on like all the time, and I don't know why. It's like so weird to see like what happens with Becky half the time. Like I try to refrain from like getting involved in like arguments on Twitter and stuff because it gets mentally draining half the time. But I see it all the time, and I never literally understand why so many people have to hate on Becky for what she does. It just never makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's actually the opposite. She should be commended for it. Like she just had a baby and she's out there killing it, like, doing all these matches and having all these feuds, and it's just people like to bitch. They like to gripe. Especially like Twitter. Twitter used to be so much fun. It's so like draining now. I'll
Oh,
read my I'll
Twitter and
read my
like
notifications, but like my timeline gets scary sometimes. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I'm good. Get off of here.
But Twitter, like when because I joined Twitter and like when the Shield first came on, so around that time was when Twitter was like really fun. Everyone was sort of just having a laugh and getting along. But over the years, it's just become a lot more toxic, and it's just every fandom just argues with the other one, and it gets so draining to see. Yeah, it's just I don't know, I just don't understand like why so many people hate on her for like no reason at all. It's just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they'll do that with Paige too. Like, oh, Paige took a breath wrong one day. Well, she took it the wrong way. Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, y'all are talking about Paige breathing. Stop. Like they think of the weirdest things just to say stuff, and I'm like, why? Like, go outside. There's like more to life than
Yeah.
social media.
Like
Go
even with
do
Seth
something.
too, after the whole 2019 thing, everyone
Yeah,
just it's like that people just find anything to try and hate on someone now. Like I've noticed it. They could be like the tiniest little thing, like you just said with Paige. Like everyone would just find anything to like just hate on them, and it just gets so annoying.
yeah. That's why Seth left social media too for a little bit, and Becky did too. Like, Becky's
Yeah,
never on there unless she has a feud, which is smart. Like, stay away from all that mess.
yeah. I used to be on like every day, but now I just sort of come on maybe like a couple hours a day, or like some days I'll take a break and then come back, or like because it's just better to sort of take a break and sort of sit back and just then it's more healthier for you rather than like being on like 24/7 like seeing everything. It catches up to you, and then yeah, you just get mentally drained from all of it all.
I used to be on there so much that I wouldn't miss anything. I was like, oh, you get FOMO, the fear of missing out. Oh, now
Yeah,
I'm
that was
like, I
me.
don't
That was
care.
me.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if I miss something, who cares? Like, it's probably
Yeah.
stupid anyway. The worst is like this WWE, AEW stuff people have. I'm
Oh,
like,
God.
I watch them both. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I watch AEW when I can because I don't know. It's not really like live over here, so it's like highlights. So you can really watch them. So I catch up on it when I can, but I always see the back and forth like war of AEW and WWE like all the time, and it gets so annoying because it's like why do you take it that seriously?
So that was another question I had. Like, you said you're a night owl. Do you stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning to watch Raw as it's happening? Like, do you watch Raw live or
Yeah,
SmackDown live? Yeah.
I've watched. Well, I've stopped watching SmackDown since they switched to Raw, obviously, but I've watched it recently because Seth's been on it a little bit with Roman, like that whole feud. But yeah, for as long as I remember, because I watched wrestling since I was 4 and I'm 25, so but it wasn't until like maybe school years. So like the last 10, 15 years, I've sort of stayed up every night to watch, not every night, every week, sorry, to watch Raw live every time. So.
That's got to be crazy. So it's like what, 1, 2 in the morning, and then it's done by like 5 in the morning.
It's yeah, because we're all 3 hours, so it'll start at 1 and finish at 4.
Wow.
So yeah, stay up live every Monday to watch it.
People are
But
just
it's
waking
drags,
up.
like yeah.
People are waking up at like 4, and you're still watching Raw.
Yeah. I used to stay up to like half 6, 7, 8 in the morning, but I don't do that now. I sort of stay to maybe like 3 or 4 and then go to bed. But yeah.
Yeah, a real night owl, huh?
Yeah, I live on American time, so I'm just used to the time differences. So I basically just yeah, I'm so used to it, so it doesn't bother me if I stay up or if I do like an all-nighter and don't sleep. It doesn't really affect me because I'm like I say, I'm just used to it. So I'll just like get caffeine in the morning or something, and I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm getting older. I can't stay up that late anymore. It's like I'm an old fart. It's like I can't stay up that late. Although, like, when I go to these wrestling shows in Texas, I'll get back home at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Mm,
Sometimes if it runs late, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. Don't go to bed till 6, but that's the weekend, so that's different.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that on a weekday to go to work the next day.
Luckily for me, I can work from home doing my art and stuff, so it's sometimes majority of the time it's okay for me to sort of stay up late. Um, But yeah, I think another thing of getting older, you just sort of don't have the energy to get involved in like arguments and stuff as you get older. You just sort of just mellow out a lot more.
Yeah, I used to get in fights on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, nah, just pick and choose my battles now.
Yeah,
It's not worth it. Or just ignore, like, keep scrolling, ignore what
yeah, just
somebody
ignore it.
says. Yeah,
Don't give in to it. You know,
yeah,
you got to refrain, have some self restraint to just leave it alone.
yep. Just keep going. Don't even. Some people, that's where they get like it's a trap. They start talking. I'm like, oh, why'd you get in a fight with that person? Leave them alone. Just keep going. That's what
Yeah,
the
even if you warn them
block and
too,
mute. Yep,
you can
block
warn
and
them
mute.
and they'll still do it. And you're like, I told you so.
Yep, that's what mute and blocks for.
Yeah,
Well, before I turn over to Rob, thank you for coming on the show finally. We've been trying to
cool.
get you for a
Yeah,
while. And thank you for being, our friendship and everything. Thanks for that.
yeah.
And you're pretty
Awesome.
cool and everything, and tell me what you're
Yeah.
like.
Hopefully, one day we can meet in person.
Yes, that would be
Hopefully
awesome.
soon.
That would be awesome. All right, Rob.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Kathy. So what's going on, Tasha? How's everything going your way?
It's going good. How's you?
I'm well. It's pretty cold over here. I'm just trying to stay warm. I'm wishing I could move to a tropical climate. So
But
beat
don't
this
worry, it's
winter.
not warm over
Ugh,
here either. It's
ugh,
freezing over here.
I believe it. Now I gotta ask one question. Is that Andrew Lincoln that's been looking at me the whole time, behind you,
Yeah.
Yep.
aka Rick Grimes? Is
Yes,
that
I'm a
him?
big Walking Dead fan. So I got a lot of
Okay.
I don't know if you can see, but yeah, a lot of it. Walking
Okay.
Dead, I
Yeah. Cause
got Big Rick Grimes and Rick and Daryl underneath, and then the rest of it's all my favorite bands.
Okay. Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, is Rick Grimes staring a hole through me? Like, is he gonna come after me? Like
I
in the
have
show?
another I have
Woo.
another one in front of me, like literally in front of me. It's another poster of him and Daryl.
I like Shane. But man, it's too bad they couldn't get come together and all that stuff. It was like and I still don't know if little ass kicker Shane's or not. What I mean,
It is
but I hadn't
Shane's.
watched it in a little bit. It was okay.
Yeah, they confirmed it. They had Rick on season 8, I believe. Say no, season 7.
Mhm.
Say it was Shane's baby.
Yeah, because I would watch it, and then right after the show, I'd watch The Talking Dead.
Yeah,
Just because
yeah,
I had to discuss it. Because some of my friends didn't watch it or whatever, and I was like, well, I got to discuss it with somebody or do something, so I'd watch that.
yeah.
Just so I could.
It's actually back the end of this month for the second part of the final season.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've watched it since
Yeah,
the start. It's become my favorite show of all time. So I have to keep watching it now because I've watched it since the start. I have to watch it to the end, even though like Rick's no longer there and Rashawn's no longer there and whatever.
hmm. Well, Daryl's still there. He's been there since the beginning. I mean, it's like, man, he's still there. All right, let's go, Daryl.
Negan's actually become my favorite now. I'm gonna get
Negan.
hated for it because everyone hates Negan, but Negan's kind of taken on my new favorite role as over Rick because obviously Rick's not there, but yeah, Negan's kind of taking that mantle now.
Yeah, yeah, because when he came in, yeah, he took my boy out, man. I was like, oh man, no, he took both my guys out. I'm like, oh man, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
oh man, Negan.
he's redeemed himself over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, but then I watched Supernatural. I'm like, all right, well, he's the Winchester's dad. You know what I mean? He's pretty cool there.
Yeah,
So I'll give it to him. You know what I mean? I'll let it slide because I like Supernatural also. So I'll do it.
I watched
So
Supernatural when I was in America. We watched it. Because my best friend loves it, so I watched a few seasons over there, but I haven't watched it since.
now you're talking about Colorado and stuff. How was it over there? Did you get to check out the mountains and all that stuff? And did you go to those stores with the special brownies and the special stuff? Because I heard they have them around here and all, and uh, I've had many of people go there, buy them. They're like 45 minutes later, like this ain't working. I'm eating another one. It's like, don't do it. Classic mistake. And then they're just, oh my god, yeah.
I went there in the summer, so I spent the whole sort of 2 weeks of summer out there, and oh my god, I've never experienced heat like that in my life.
Ooh,
I came back like red as anything. But yeah, hopefully
oh.
this year if I go back, I can go to the mountains and stuff because it was my first time there, so we didn't really know, like we didn't want to explore too much. Just sort of wanted to hang out and sort of because it was the first time we were meeting each other, so we just kind of wanted to
Mhm.
enjoy sort of our time. But
I got
hopefully
you.
this year I can go, like, explore more of Colorado.
Yeah, I didn't. I never really thought of Colorado being hot like that, 'cause it's over there like Denver and all that, 'cause you're up in the
Hmm.
mountains and all that. It's like,
Yeah.
see, I'm in Delaware where we are. It's flat. Like there is nothing. Like the tallest mountain in the state is in my backyard with the hill is a hill. What I mean? That's like that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah, I'm actually
Now,
trying to move to America. It's actually a long time goal
uh,
of mine to go live out there with yeah.
if you do, yeah, I'm saying Delaware's awesome. We got beaches, yeah, like the gambling dispensaries and all. Plus, no sales tax. So if you go to a store and a bag of chips is 99 cents, you give them $1, you get change back. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not, oh, $1.10 now, and you got to pay up. No, 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 no. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
So you were talking about takers, your favorites.
Hmm.
And what was your favorite iteration of Taker? Like your favorite one? Was it like the old school, zombie
Oh,
like Taker, biker Taker, ministry Taker? When his comeback.
Biker Taker was pretty cool, but it has to be like the long coat and the hat. That's just like the goat Taker.
Oh yeah, Taker. Yeah, he's awesome. I got to see him when I was a kid when he fought in a casket match against Kevin Nash, well Diesel at the
Mm.
time. And after the match, all of us kids, I was in like sixth grade at the time. We were all whatever, and we all went out back to go start trying to see the Undertaker. And him and Paul Bearer were walking out to their cars, arguing over who had the last of the vodka. So then, ever since then, I was like, that's why Taker feels no pain. That's his secret. You know what I mean? So if you
Mm.
ever go, oh, okay, that's why him and Paul Bearer,
Mhm.
they're doing the thing.
I remember when I was younger, I used to think him and Kane were like actual brothers.
That's funny.
Because when you're a kid,
I'm
you just sort of believe it all, right? You sort of believe everything
yeah,
you see. So, but
yeah.
yeah, I was like heartbroken to find they weren't related.
My friend, he used to work at Hardee's, and his managers, they're grown, they were in like their 30s, and they watched wrestling too, and they're like, oh, we're getting a pay-per-view and all, you come on over and have a little party stuff. And I was like, yeah, you go over there. They swore up and down Kane and Undertaker were brothers, and they were not going to hear nothing of the sort. Like, no, he was. Yeah, they're like ready to fight. He's like, all right, yes, they're brothers. Yes, they're blood brothers. He never knew about him because yes, so he set fire to the house and did. Yep, you're right. You're right. Jesus, like man, okay. I guess it's still real to them. But
Mm.
so I got to ask about your Rumble thoughts and stuff. How'd you feel about the Rumble and all that stuff, and what's coming of that and the build up to WrestleMania?
So I thought this Rumble was probably one of the worst ones they've had. Like the pay per view as a whole was probably
Hmm.
one of the worst ones they've, and the Rumble match as well was pretty bad. But yeah, I see. I was annoyed with obviously with like the two who won it because it's like they could easily give that opportunity to better people.
Hmm.
It just feels very like the same thing they sort of do. They sort of just they because the thing with Brock is like he can't be out of the title picture, so you always have to kind of put him in it some way or another. So it kind of like limits what they can do with other people. And then Ronda was just yeah, I don't know.
Now, on SmackDown? Didn't she come out and say she wants to challenge Charlotte for the title at WrestleMania,
Yeah,
not Becky?
yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because isn't that the match, the money match? Do you think they're just going to put it off for maybe next year and just you know build it up or something?
Well, I read like Charlotte was the one who pushed for the whole thing to happen. Like her
Okay.
politicking backstage again. You know how she does. I think I'm pretty sure that's how the match came about because everyone was speculating about it. But yeah, I'm not excited for it to be honest. It just seems like it's gonna be very boring. um, but I'm hoping Becky gets Bianca anyway, so that would be my match for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Who do you think Becky is going to face or whatever? Is there anybody else? Is there a top two or somebody else other than her? Say Bianca has other things to take care of or whatever.
What I like to see, it won't happen because they're on separate brands, but Naomi and Becky would be a good match I'd want.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. That'd be a good one. Now with Seth, do they have anything planned for him on WrestleMania yet?
I don't know. I really want. I've wanted him and Roman to main event Mania forever, and I really thought that was gonna happen. But after the whole thing at the Rumble, it just kind of, yeah, I don't know. It just took all my excitement away, and I was left feeling really disappointed with it, with what happened at the end. I thought they were going to continue it because of how they ended, but then they just moved back to Brock. So, but I'm hoping they can do the right thing and make it a triple threat.
Yeah, because actually that was probably my favorite match on the Rumble was that one because I love the finish. You
Oh,
know
the
what I mean? Just that.
entrance
Yeah,
was like, wow.
yeah, because you know how Seth is right now. He's just so annoying and just pissing Roman off and whatever. And Roman was just like, "No, I ain't letting go. He did this to himself." And he was like, yeah." And I was like, "Oh yeah, they got to build on to this. I'm ready for round two, round three." And then yeah, Brock was on there. I'm like,
It was just funny because when Roman was like, the shield's beneath me, and then Seth knew that was a lie, so he knew like all I got to do is just keep bringing up the shield, and it's gonna eventually get to him and annoy him, and it did.
That's right. So what's your favorite iteration of Seth? Is this your the king or whatever? Is it your favorite one? The shield?
The authority
After the shield?
the authority Seth was my favorite. Like that was just goated, but I think this current version of him is probably the most fun he's had, which in return for me as a fan makes me enjoy it for him and makes me enjoy it a lot more.
Oh yeah, I agree. It was like Remy was saying earlier, those suits. Yeah, if I couldn't wear like a black suit or something, and they're like, yeah, wear something else. Oh yeah, I'm hitting this style or something. Like, give me the most outrageous thing I can wear, especially if I'm going on TV or something or whatever. Oh yeah, I want them to be like,
I
what's
can't
this
lie.
guy got on?
Some of them have been atrocious. Like what he's worn.
Yeah,
Some of them have been horrible. I think my favorite one that he's worn was the early sort of time he went to the suits, and it was the green plaid with the black turtleneck. I think that was my favorite one he's worn.
there's some ones that are on there. They're just atrocious, but yeah, I just laugh, when he comes out. I'm just like, yes, just oh
I
yeah, I
just
just start clapping. I'm like, that is great. Yeah,
I just love how he
only
just
he can
laughs
pull it
at
off.
everyone. He just laughs, like especially the whole thing of Roman. When Roman tries to like get at him and he's just laughing at Roman, it makes you laugh with him.
That's right. That's right. Now, I wanted to ask real quick about your drawings and stuff. I mean, I know Kathy was talking about earlier. You
Mhm.
are real talented, and that's one of the
Thank you.
skills I wish I had in life. I wish I could sing, and I wish I could draw. Like the only thing I can draw is stick figures. You know what I mean? That's about it. You know what I mean? So, but I gotta
I've never
ask. Like, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I've never been good academically, so I've always had the sort of career side of me. So that's where, yeah, I'm glad I can put a talent to something.
Don't feel bad. Yeah, like math was not my subject or whatever.
Mm,
Like my dad, he's one of those people that like can think of problems in his head, like boom, 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 right? Me, I
yeah,
gotta count my fingers, my toes. I gotta write down
same.
a scrap piece of paper. Yeah,
All the
yeah. He would always
calculators,
be.
I'm calculating in me.
Yeah, he would always yell at me. What are you doing? I can't help it. My grandfather was like, "Can you count money?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you're good. You'll be good in life. If you can count money, you're fine. You ain't gotta worry
Yeah,
about no all that." Yeah. But yeah, your drawings. I wanted to know. Do you have a favorite drawing that you've done of a wrestler or whatever, like that you look at, you're like, "Yo, this is my masterpiece.
I think
This is my Mona Lisa."
I'm like that with like everyone I do. Every new one I
Okay.
finish, and I was like, okay, that's now my favorite. Yeah, I can't pick one. It's impossible to pick
Okay.
one.
That's cool.
Uh,
Fair enough.
the recent back one I did was probably the most challenging I did, but I do like if I can find it. This one of Seth I did was probably one of my favorites. You can see it.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's real good.
There's one that the
Yeah, I
name is
like
the
that one.
Messiah.
Oh yeah, that one was that's awesome right there. So yeah, yeah, I gotta send you a picture of me in my ref gear. You doing my ref thing in the ring or whatever. But yeah, you do that or whatever. Because some of your drawings looks like better than 4K, better than HD. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I would
It's
definitely,
taken a
yeah,
lot
I'm
of
gonna do that.
practice. It's taken a lot of
There you go.
practice. 'Cause I used to didn't be like, well, I could draw people. They didn't used to be like as great as they are now, obviously. But it's just best thing. 'Cause I always get asked like, to give advice for people who want to draw like portraits and stuff or like anything. And I always just say like, one, you got to have the patience, and two, you have to have like the dedication to want to like do it. Because it takes a long time. For me, majority of them take like 1 to 3 months max, depending on like how detailed they are. Um, but that was one thing. I used to get them done in like 2 weeks, but then over the years, I sort of took the time to put more detail in them and like actually like perfect them a lot more. So yeah, it takes me like 2 to 3 months now.
Hey, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Worth it. You can definitely tell in your work. It's like yeah, because I see when you post it, like yeah, I've done this one,
Yeah.
but I'm like. Wow. Like, oh man, that is awesome. I gotta send you one. Like, if you do one, if I get you to do one for me, commission one for me, yeah, it's going right here or whatever. So it's gonna be on every
Yeah.
show. So yeah, definitely every show. Maybe you'd have a little cameo every show. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, before I pass it on back to Remy, I want to say, thank you for very much for taking time out of your day, come chat with us. I know it's I'm a fellow night owl person too. I know it's late and stuff, but yeah, thank you for coming on. I wish nothing but the positive things to happen to you, your family, your friends. if Allie and Alexandria, watching, hey, how y'all doing? I hope y'all keep kicking ass too. And
Yeah,
yeah. I wish nothing but the positive things to happen to you, your family, all that good stuff.
thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I could finally be on here.
Yeah, Tasha, thank you very much. The drawings are amazing. I might just
Thanks.
have to hit you up because I got a couple of drawings that I don't know if you make logos, but I got a couple of designs that I actually want to put up
Yeah, I can do
this year
logos
on
too.
our team. I didn't get that last part.
I can do logos too. I can do like anything that you need.
Yeah, because I got an idea for a, and Kathy, you're gonna like this one. I have an idea for a Mardi Gras inspired design for our one of our shirts. So she's probably gonna be going from ear to ear. She's either gonna like it or she's probably gonna like, Remy, what are you thinking? No, no, sit down and think about what you said. She's either gonna do one of those two, But yeah, I do have y'all heard it here first. I do have an idea. I'm not promising, but I do have an idea for a Mardi Gras design for one of our shirts. I think Mardi Gras is in March, Kathy.
Yeah, it's late this year. It's sometime in March.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I might have to hit you up. I don't know, but I just gotta say we finally got you on here. We've been wanting to have you on here for a while. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we can
I'm glad
have
I
you
could finally
on.
come
You
on.
and Alex. Yeah, hopefully we can have you back on here with Alex and the rest of the team. We got to do a European prediction show. We did one before with Alex and Elisa. Um, Alex was in
Maybe
France.
we do it
Elisa
for
was in
media.
Belgium.
Maybe we do it for media.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for it. I mean, I have you, Alex. It'll have to be early though, because y'all got that time differential.
Hmm.
Have you, Alex, hopefully Addie and Grace, and just shoot the breeze about WrestleMania. I'm down for that. But yeah. So with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. Um, before we do that, though, Tasha, where can fans find you on social media when when they want to talk all things Seth Rollins, Undertaker? Check out your designs, maybe get a logo done for them and whatnot.
Yeah, so everyone can find me on the name that's on the screen, which is at Tasha XX Rollins on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is where you
Awesome.
can probably find more
So
of my
y'all
artwork. But yeah, that's the name for both my social medias.
Awesome. So y'all definitely make sure y'all follow this young lady. She's definitely doing great things and definitely her artwork. Heck, y'all heard she does logos. So if you're looking to get a logo done and whatnot, definitely hit her up. And it may cost you. That's between y'all though, but just definitely hit her up. Hey, I'm trying to promote you right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Hey, I wish I had talent, man. I could do a mean stick figure or
Yeah.
whatnot, and but yeah, man, drawing's it's a great talent to have, man. But yeah, y'all definitely follow this young lady. She's very cheap, very talented. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. But once again, before we do so, Kathy Knight, my CEO, where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, all things Becky Lynch and Paige, all things good eating in Louisiana, and all that good stuff?
So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517.
Hit her up.
Yeah.
Rob Bass, my CBO, if I'm not mistaken, the Tommy to my Ghost, for those of y'all that watch Power, and the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, and the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next appearance is, purchase Rob Bass merchandise? Yes, he is a referee. And also, where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter Instagram and Twitch at Rob_Base82, and then Facebook, YouTube, Rob Base.
Cool. And if you want to find me on social media, and not that I have anything cool or interesting to say, but who knows, maybe you want one of these days, you can find me on Twitter, Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook as Remy Blue. You can also find our podcast on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We're also on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're also on Spotify, where you can actually hear season one, season two, and some of our season three episodes. We're still working on getting everything up to date there. And we're also still on Block Talk Radio. We also have a Facebook group as Ringside Society. And we also have a YouTube channel. If you go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, you'll see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it. That's us. Make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming your way. And we got a lot of cool stuff that we've done in the past. Like we just had Marek Brave on our show, who was Seth Rollins, former tag team partner in the Black and the Brave. And now he's actually the head trainer for the Black and the Brave Wrestling Academy, which is a very impressive school. And we've also had Katie Hebner. We've also had Damian Priest's brother, Michael Martinez, who was a Nightmare Factory Class 3 graduate. So we've had a very impressive season four so far, and I'm like, geez, if we've done that just for the beginning of season 4, I can only imagine what the rest of season 4 is going to be. But y'all definitely. And with that being said, I always forget this part. We also have a Teespring store, as I mentioned earlier. Yes, we have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. It's Valentine's month, so we actually have Valentine's Day apparel. We have long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, we have tank tops. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So definitely go ahead and cop some merch from Ringside Society. All proceeds go back to keeping our show afloat. It doesn't go back into our pockets. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. We really and truly appreciate it. To those of y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral, and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, and Kathy Knight at Cafe Dumont, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. Man, I'll never forget when Kathy said that. I sounded so weird. But it was cool at the same time. But yes. And we
You
ain't
guys
stopping.
also remember.
With that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here at Ringside Society, we're very well aware to everybody on the Grand Prince and the Prince of a podcast. But we're not your Grand Prince podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for our fellow wrestling fan across the pond in jolly old England, Tasha Rollins.
Woo!
What type of podcast?
All right, 3, 2, 1.
We're the Wrestling Fans
Podcast.
That's right. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we will be back actually in a matter of like probably half an hour with another impressive guest. But until then, as a matter, until then, it seems kind of weird. Do us 4 favors: stay healthy, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.
Bye.